Now, there's a story I want to tell you very briefly about this guy called Seamus, who is a very pious man, very religious guy, right? And he loses his job during COVID. He loses his money. He's very worried about the future. And he prays to God. And he says, God, listen, I really need some help. And he hears a voice from heaven. And the voice from heaven says, Seamus, sell the few things you've got. Get all the money together and fly to Vegas. And so Seamus does it. He sells his house, sells his car, sells everything. Gets the money together, flies to Vegas. He looks up to heaven and says, what do you want me to do, God? And God says, I want you to go into the first casino you come to, and I want you to sit down at the poker table and put all your money in the first hand. Seamus is a pious man, goes into the Hard Rock Cafe, sits down at the table, and gets dealt 7-2 off. Right? Terrible hand. And he's about to fold, but he hears the voice of God saying, don't fold, put all in. Seamus puts it all in. Somebody gets pair of queens, somebody turns over ace king. He's like, 2 people go in, all in with him. He's very nervous, but then a 7 hits on the flop, and then a 2 and another 2 gets a full house. He wins the money. He's like, I don't believe it. Here's a voice from heaven saying, now take all that money, go to the blackjack table, put it all in one hand of blackjack. Seamus does it. Sits, put all the money on blackjack, gets dealt 16. Doesn't know what to do. He's going to stick. He hears a voice from God saying, hit. And so he hits. He gets a 2. So he's on 18. He's going to stick. He hears a voice from God saying, hit again. He hits again. It's an ace, 19. Hears a voice from heaven saying, hit again. He gets a 3, 19, 20, 21. Oh, no, 2, right? Yeah, no, it's busted. He didn't get it busted. He gets 2. And he wins blackjack, gets all the money. He says, I don't believe it. And then he hears a voice from heaven saying, now take all that money and put it on 7 on roulette. So he's sweating, but he takes all the money, puts it all on 7 on roulette. Balls rolling, bouncing. Sure enough, it hits 7. And he looks up to heaven, he says, I don't believe it. And he hears a voice from heaven saying, I don't believe it either. You're the luckiest motherfucker I've ever seen. Right? That is the truth of Hegel, right? We think that God is unknown. The absolute has the answer. But Hegel says, no, the absolute isn't unknown. The absolute is unknowing. The absolute has this contingency built within it. And the end of history is the moment when we realize this. No leader, no powerful figure, nobody out there has all the answers. We are all in this together. Now, by the way, Hegel says basically that's in biology, it's called evolution, the non-at-oneness of the biological organism with itself, creating life. In mathematics, incompleteness theorem, the idea that the axioms of mathematics are contradictory. So when you try to use mathematics to explain everything, you find out that it falls into contradiction. In psychoanalysis, it's called the unconscious. The consciousness is derailed by an unconscious. And in politics, it's called democracy, the non-at-oneness of the social body with itself that creates potentially, hopefully, a society. And in physics, it's called indeterminacy, the quantum dimension of reality. And it's not by chance that Hegel is saying the birth of the modern world is the birth of absolute knowledge, because in all of these scientific disciplines, we are encountering a non-at-oneness at the heart of them. Right? That is the end of history.
You know what's annoying? You know what's annoying? That the one laugh you got in that entire joke, in that entire talk, the one slammer where we all like, woo, Seamus is the man, and all the comments started flying about Seamus. I missed it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I missed it because, right, get this, I turned my notebook page and someone had drawn a cock on the next page.
Oh,
and I was like, fuck's sake, who's the cock? And then just as I ripped it out, there's a big laugh and I missed your gag.
It wasn't a big laugh. Yeah, I know you're trying to make me feel better, but...
No, I'm not trying to make you feel better. I'm trying to say, can you tell me the punchline again because I missed it?
Oh, yeah. Well, did you hear the rest of the joke?
I wasn't listening.
Okay.